ABC or APC? That's the question for today because it's Happy Chardonnay Day.
Best day of the year.
Best day of the year. So ABC being anything but Chardonnay or APC being always pour Chardonnay. For me, I know what I'm voting for. I'm an always pour Chardonnay girl, love.
As am I.
So today I've got Amelia with me, our cellar door manager at
Hello.
Saddlers Creek Wines, and of course I'm Wendy. So we've been sitting here trying to decide which Chardonnay, if we're going to put them in pouring order, because Amelia, how many Chardonnays do we have on our list, love?
We have 7. 8
7.
if you include our sparkling.
Now, why do we have 8? Because we are a always pour Chardonnay business. So because we love it so much, we just get excited. And
we do.
Winemakers like to get creative and try different things and explore and experiment.
And it's one of those varietals where you can do so many different things and come out with such a different product. Like none of these Chardonnays look the same.
They don't. It's incredible. So we mostly source from Hunter Valley. We also have a little bit of Langhorne Creek.
We do.
So it's an exciting opportunity to come and see how wines from different vineyards, from different regions, who've been treated a little bit differently and in their winemaking skills and how they turn out. So if you ever want to come in, we have a fantastic selection here, and always just ring in and ask for the Chardonnay flight.
Yes.
But love, what are we going to do today? Because if we're going to put these into a flight we have a Chablis style, which is our Il Franco, which was named after my husband Frank because he said it time and time again for about 8 years. Can't you make me a Chablis style? Can't you make me a Chablis style? So they did. So we have an Il Franco that's got no oak, all the way up to
our Pump Shed Chardonnay, which is that Langhorne Creek, so slightly bigger style, all oak, bit of Malo going on there. So we're looking at that older style of Chardonnay with a lot of texture.
It's beautiful.
It's fantastic.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, Millie, what's your favourite, love?
It depends on the day of the week.
It does, doesn't it? I was going to say I love them all.
Yeah.
And it depends on the day of the week, what you're eating, what's the weather, who you're enjoying it with. There's so many variables, but we've got one for every occasion.
Exactly. I always thought I was a straight up Hunter Chardonnay person, and my love fell with that Ryan's Reserve Stephanie, and then when we started doing the Marrowbone again.
Mm-hmm.
But recently it has been that Pump Shed.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's just come into its own in the last couple of months.
Let's pour some, honey.
What would you
Let's do it.
like to have a look at?
Let's have a look. Let's do the Pump Shed, I think. And then the real question, which we're going to get to, is where does the Marrowbone sit? Does it sit before the Hunter Valley or does it sit after?
Because we are the biggest.
So this one is 100% Langhorne Creek.
Yep. 100%
Chardonnay.
Langhorne Creek. 8 months in both American oak and French oak, some steel bat, and then 50% Malo on that one.
And I think you'd be hard pushed to find a wine anywhere in the world that is half American, half French oak from Langhorne Creek. It's quite a unique wine.
Very unique.
It's very unique. And I think it's very unique to Saddlers and our style. And hence it's in the winemaker's craft. The winemaker's craft label.
It is that winemaker's craft.
The winemaker's craft label, which is all about providing the opportunity for the winemakers to be more creative, to be innovative, to explore, have a bit of fun. And they're producing fantastic wines, because if they don't produce fantastic wines, we don't put it in a bottle.
No, exactly. And I think for any of our members or followers of Saddlers, the interesting part of this is probably the Chardonnay for our bluegrass drinkers.
There you go.
Because it's come from that Follett vineyard. It's a bigger style of Chardonnay, and our bluegrasses are those bigger, more full-bodied styles of red. So this is your red wine drinkers, white wine.
There you go. Cheers, love. Happy Chardonnay Day. You know, as we're talking about tasting wines, we've probably gone from the wrong end backwards.
We've gone very backwards, but that's all right.
This is what we do, because we
get excited.
We do get excited. Now that is yum. If you haven't had an opportunity to try that, I highly recommend that you come in or come to one of our upcoming events.
Definitely.
We've got a couple of upcoming events, Millie.
We
You
do.
want to tell us about them?
Quite a few.
Sorry, ladies, can we talk back about Chardonnay? Because I really missed all of that stuff. and I'm just looking at comments coming up on screen. So if a person likes a fruit-forward, lightly oaked wine, what are you going to pick?
Lightly oaked, I would be looking at our Sadlers.
Okay.
So Ryan's has a little bit more of an oak profile on it. Definitely up there, and it is a touch older, being a 2022. But these two definitely on that fruit forward. This Ryan's for your. It's got that it's that real Hunter Valley sunshine in a glass style of Chardonnay with that stone fruit coming through. You definitely get the French oak coming through on that one as well. But if you're after something with a little less oak, I would look at the Sadlers. Still a fantastic Chardonnay by its own right.
Now, Il Franco, we had one of our long-term members in here the other day, and he just bought a case of Il Franco. And this gentleman is traditionally a oaked Chardonnay drinker. And he had that, and he went, whoa, what a standout.
Yeah, it's a super wine.
It is, isn't it?
Okay, so if somebody's not a Chardonnay drinker, what would you recommend?
Il Franco.
Definitely that Il Franco. Or as a really good gateway into looking at Chardonnays, start off with a little bit of that sparkling. It's going to give you that, because it's got the bubble on it, it's going to give you a freshness to it. You've still got some Chardonnay in there, and it's a good little sort of stepping stone into the Il Franco.
Awesome.
But the Il Franco's definitely got a beautiful cleanness to it. And often when people say they're not Chardonnay drinkers, it's not actually the grape variety that is the thing that they're not a fan of. It's more often than not the oak profile on the wine. So having a look at that Il Franco, you're just going to see the fruit shine itself rather than having some oak profile come through.
Good advice, love.
Okay, so then if somebody likes a more creamier style of Chardonnay?
So
here we go.
Creamy.
Where do we start?
If we're going that creamy, buttery profile, which we generally see with something that's been through some malo, Pump Shed, we have 50% malo on that, which is where that butteriness comes from. But in saying that, your marrow bone does start to show a little bit of that creaminess to it. It's sort of got that creaminess that you see in like a nut butter, if that makes sense. Like the toastiness from the oak then comes into sort of like that cashewy type moment coming into that, so you get some creaminess there.
I think this over time is the all-time favorite for entering into that creaminess stage. It just sells exceptionally well consistently. The Pump Shed's a new one. So come and try it, because it is exceptional, as well as our Equus.
Question then, if they're wanting to sell a Chardonnay, which one would you recommend then?
Oh, at the moment, will be that one.
The Alessandro
and the Equus.
And the Equus, definitely. So our Alessandro is a 2022. It is a combination of Hunter Valley and Langhorne Creek fruit. We just tasted this a moment ago, and it's definitely drinking quite young at the moment. There's a fair bit of acid still there, which means it is going to stellar quite well. So I think that definitely will benefit from a bit of time away.
And of course our Equus. I mean, that was made for cellar as well.
Made for cellaring with that Langhorne Creek fruit. Again, the thing that I find with this Langhorne Creek fruit, much like with the bluegrasses, they are made for a little bit of longevity to put away. So the way this was made, it's got some French oak in there, it's got some American oak in there as well. Definitely will benefit from some time down. In saying that,
the Pump Shed
is going to also benefit from a little bit of time. But I think if we go anywhere from sort of the Ryan's Reserve down, you're going to be able to do a little bit of time, sort of that 4 to 6 years on any of them, and have a really fantastic
experience.
The others, because they don't have as much oak profile going on, I think that they are more suited to that drink now style of wine.
So our drink nows are definitely our sparkling, our Il Franco, and our Sadler Chardonnay. This medium term, early medium, and probably this one could potentially go over with the heavy hitters over here, and have you could push them more to your 6+. For sure.
So
But
which ones are Hunter Valley fruit?
Hunter Valley fruit are our
Il
Il
Franco.
Franco, Stadler's, Ryan's, Marrowbone. Alessandro
half.
is 54% Hunter, and then the rest is Langhorne Creek.
And what's the difference in flavour profile from cool climate to warm climate?
So because here in the Hunter, everything ripens so much quicker, you get a lot more fruit forward, medium bodied on its flavour profile. The thing with tasting wine, tasting anything, it's also personal.
It's so personal.
So what I find is you get that big fruit forward profile on the Hunter fruit. On the Langhorne Creek, I find it a little bit more linear, a little bit more minerality to it. But interestingly, I find it's also got a little bit more acid to it as well.
Yes.
Which is going to benefit long term for that celery.
Go on,
Okay,
you
food
love.
pairing, that is what we're pairing with each of these wines.
Another glass of Chardonnay.
Well, you know, if we're starting up this end, I mean, this is your fresh seafood
Yeah.
again, your sushi.
Yeah.
I don't know, your schnitzels. I don't know. Like, what would you pair? These are
Definitely those sort of seafood moments. Scallops, if done in sort of a bit more of a lemon style, not with a creamy sauce. So top end there, stay away from sort of your creamy sauces. Do your fresh seafood.
yes.
Then as you start to come down the line, you can pick up sort of your
Introduce.
more, still go some seafood with some buttery moments. Lobster, great.
Yeah, so you're matching butter with butter,
yep.
cream, you know,
But
as they get more buttery.
can start to pair into chicken,
Yeah.
pork. Think of your white meats. Pork is one that works really well with Chardonnay that probably gets overlooked a little bit.
Okay.
As I said, I like Chardonnay with another glass of Chardonnay.
Yes.
Um,
Well, they cannot. They're all
so
very
versatile.
yeah.
What about a steak? Good steak.
Look, you could definitely go one of these
They're definitely that
bigger
end.
styles of Chardonnay. It just depends on how you're preparing the steak, what you're having with the steak in terms of, I wouldn't go one of these and then have a sort of gravy type sauce situation. If it's clean steak, clean wine, it's going to work.
Beautiful.
But I think
Okay.
the most important thing when it comes to food pairing is pair things that you like together as well. Because if you are trying to follow rules, guidelines, but it's something that you're not a big fan of, you're never going to enjoy
You're
it.
never going to enjoy it. You always have to go with what you know about yourself
Exactly.
and what you like and how you enjoy your food. Absolutely.
So
Well
can
said, love.
somebody come in and do the Chardonnay fly?
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime.
They're all available for tasting. Whilst it might not be set up online as a Chardonnay flight, if you give us a call, send us an email, or just pop into the cellar door and let the team
Let us
know that you
like
want
to
to
do
have a look
Chardonnay.
at all of our Chardonnays, they are available for you to try.
We'll do it. We're here for you. Now, let's have a look, Millie, because I am interested, love, in knowing if we're doing tasting order, the Marrowbone or the Hunter Valley.
Alessandro?
Yeah. So
sure
let's
thing.
change out these glasses
I'm just going to.
and I'll pour in.
It's a very needy camera girl.
And the girl who loves her Chardonnay.
All right, that's the Alessandro.
That's the Alessandro, and I'll pour the Marrowbone, love. Oh, I do like that
It's the only
sound.
reason I do it.
I
I'm
don't-
only in it for the Chardonnay.
We don't see you come in for any other day.
What would you like, love? The Marrowbone?
I'm going to have whatever you're having. What are you trying?
That's the Marrowbone, love.
Okay, what's in this?
I think
That's
that's a
the
pump
pump
shed.
Look how much she gave me this time.
Well, I watched it. No, I won't go there.
So I think one of the other really important things when looking at Chardonnay is actually the temperature in which we're drinking Chardonnay.
Tell us
So
about the temperature, love.
Chardonnay is quite aromatic. It has a lot going on. There's a lot of texture there. Cold actually kills all of that. So this is not a wine that you actually want to grab straight from the fridge and
Take it
drink from
out
the fridge.
10 minutes before you want to
10
drink
minutes
it.
before, pop it into your glass. If it's still feeling a little bit cool, you'll see a lot of Chardonnay people standing around at restaurants and bars doing this with their glass just to bring that up in temperature.
And
so
what's the ideal temperature? What do you want to get it to?
I think you're looking at sort of 10 to 14 degrees on your
Oh,
Chardonnay.
look at you.
It's got to be up there.
See, I'd say, yeah, okay, radio.
And it's just because you actually want everything in this glass to come through. As soon as it's cold, you get no smell, you get no flavour. You may as well drink Semillon.
I love Semillon. Amelia's not a Semillon
My
lover.
favourite Semillon is Chardonnay.
Millie's not a Semillon, but we're talking Chardonnays anyway, so that's
We
all
are.
good. So Marrowbone.
And so
Yeah,
that is
it's
just,
delicious.
it is so beautiful.
It's so good, isn't it?
And that's a 23. That is
That's young and it's
a
beautiful.
real baby still. And so then we're into that 22 Alessandro,
Which is a year older.
a year older.
Yeah.
But we've got that Langhorne Creek influence coming in.
Yes. I see what you mean. You can taste the acid a little bit more. So yeah, that could sit down for another year or two, couldn't it?
Yep. I mean,
so whilst exquisite,
it will definitely benefit from a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Okay, so why are we drinking out of these glasses?
Because we're fancy.
These are our plum glassware.
Yes. So this is an oaked Chardonnay glass, and it is designed in a way that the aroma, when you put your nose in there, goes to the right place. But then when you actually sip the wine, that it actually puts the flavor profile in the right part of your palate to get everything about that. So it's quite open at the top, and then you have quite a big bowl on here. So it allows some nice movement of the wine. You can get right in there. It pushes everything to the right place. And then when you sip it, as I said, it actually is designed to put the wine into the right part of your palate to get the most out of it.
And I have to say, the glassware, I used to think, seriously, I was a bit of a novice, and I would not have thought, growing up in an Italian family, they would be drinking their wine out of a Vegemite glass at stages. And just a shift in experience, not only in the touch and feel of the glass, but also in the wine tasting experience is amazing. It's it really makes a big difference to
It really does.
the
It's
enjoyment.
incredible. It's actually a fun experiment to do at home, is to get one wine and pour it in a variety of different glassware and
see
the
what you
difference.
experience. Well, in this little Marrowbone, and I think definitely if I was going to do a tasting, I think this one comes over here.
Yep.
Because that one is built for longevity. So I think that one could easily sit down for another year or so, whereas this one's drinking beautifully now.
Definitely.
Isn't it? Beautiful. And it's 23.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
So
we'll go.
hats off to the winemakers on that.
Cheers, boys. Well done. Well,
Cheers.
Happy Chardonnay Day.
Happy Chardonnay Day.
What will you be drinking with dinner tonight, love?
Oh, it's going to be a toss-up between the Marrowbone and the pump shed, I think. Maybe a glass of each.
Yeah, I'm loving the
What about you,
Equus
Wendy?
too. I love the Equus as well.
It is lovely.
But I think for me, it's definitely this end of the table that I'll be choosing from.
No offense
Not to
to
say,
that
yeah,
end.
no offense. This is Frank's absolute favourite. Like, he'll say to me, bring this one in. You know, they're all beautiful.
Yeah.
But like we said, it depends on what
Depends
you're
on
eating.
the day, depends on the weather. It's a bit cooler here today.
I know. So we're definitely enjoying them at 10 degrees today.
Definitely.
Anyway, happy Chardonnay Day. Hope you have an awesome evening, and we will see you again soon. Cheers.
Cheers.